Oh, hey guys, it's Deligracy here and welcome to a brand new speed build. Today we're going to be doing one of my favorite kinds of speed builds. We're doing an industrial build. I love industrial buildings both in The Sims and in real life. And nobody freak out, that custom content that I was just showing there is no longer in my game or in this build. I was on a live stream when I started this build and we were just taking a look at some of those custom content pieces and comparing them to the Sims 4 industrial pieces. I've got to say I prefer the Maxis windows, like the Sims 4 windows, and I thought the door of the custom content was really cool, but yeah, I don't know, I wasn't digging it. So anyway, we are using all of the Sims stuff, and basically this build is going to be for a very wealthy grey fox. Yeah, that's right, you guys. I downloaded a sim off the gallery, and I can't remember who the sim was by, but we changed it up a little. If you're watching, I did get it off the gallery under the hashtag Deligracy, and it could be yours, so just keep an eye out if the sim we end up showing at the end is your sim with a slightly different colored beard and clothing. I think we gave him a different top. It could be your sim, but we used him as inspiration to create this build whereby he is a wealthy bachelor. He is an art collector and art critic in The Sims 4, and he owns this incredible gallery right on the waterfront in the Spice District of San Myshuno. I know what some of you guys are thinking, well, why wouldn't you put it in the art district? Because it's a gallery. Well, truthfully, I don't like the art district nearly as much as the Spice District. I think it looks more like cool and more industrial, so I felt like this build would just go here more, like just look nicer here. So that's why. But the cool thing about this build is that whilst it is an art gallery downstairs open to the public, the upstairs is actually a private residence. So he lives upstairs above the gallery in this kind of bachelor pad. That's very weird. I don't think I've ever really done a furnish like this before. The plan is very open. It's a massive, massive studio apartment, essentially, and it was very inspired by New York. I just was like, oh, I want him to be like super artsy and super bachelor. I didn't want this home to at all represent the kind of home you might want to bring up a family in. This house is for the person who kind of is afraid of commitment and kids and just is so career focused. And yeah, they might have, you know, in your storyline in The Sims, the person who lives here might end up falling in love and having kids or deciding to adopt a child on their own. Who knows, you could do anything you want. But for me, I was like, yeah, he doesn't have kids, or the kids he did have, he doesn't live with. And therefore, he just kind of made this apartment to suit him and his needs. So it's basically got a massive TV. It's got a nice dining area, a beautiful chef kitchen. It's going to have his bedroom just behind some curtains, a bar. Actually, there's 2 bars. I really wanted to get that kind of stereotypical bachelor across. And yeah, so it's kind of like daddy's gallery and penthouse. I guess not really a penthouse though, because it's not. Wait, what makes a penthouse actually? I know it's obviously usually the top floor in an apartment building, like the biggest apartment. But if it's in a building where there's no other apartments, could this be a penthouse because it's the upper floor over the gallery? I don't know. I don't know. It's just like a massive studio apartment, I guess. This was like a fun little plant wall I created. I think James Sim Supply did this in one of his builds recently. And we get a lot of inspiration off of each other. Like everyone on YouTube, we all take inspiration from each other, and there's nothing wrong with that. As long as you credit a person. I think I was watching one of his builds and he did that. I was like, oh, that's really cool. I like that plant wall idea. Also, I wanted to have a nice big industrial sign, but none of the signs I liked the graphics on. So I kind of created my own here by piecing different signs together. And we end up going with this kind of fluoro curvy scripture sign, which I thought worked best. The blue ties in with the blue on the windows. And yeah. So this is basically it coming along. We have skipped ahead just a little bit in the footage because I felt like you guys got the general idea of how it was being built. And we also have roofing that's inspired by factories here in Australia. I assume that kind of roofing is global. A lot of countries have that kind of roofing for factories, but Especially in Melbourne, we have a lot of factories with roofs like that. Or like tiny, small factories, nothing like, say, what's in China, or like Taiwan, but it's, we have smaller factories that are old and kind of like that. And then, of course, I wanted it to be clear that this building had been renovated. So I went with some white boxes kind of coming off the building in that very classic, quote unquote, fancy architecture way. There's so many buildings that have that white box kind of coming out of it. And, well, personally, I think it looks really nice, but I know it's not for everyone, obviously. And then up here, there is roof access. So you could potentially, if you wanted to download this, put stuff on the roof. I don't know, a yoga mat in case you want to sit on top of the roof next to the neon sign and look out to the ocean and do your downward dog or salute to the sun. You never know. You might just feel like that. And guess what, boys and girls? You can do that if you want. Well, your sim can. So yeah, it's all kind of coming together now. And now we're going to start on the interior. So downstairs, like I said, is going to be the public gallery. So I wanted it to be very simple, industrial, but also look like a private gallery. It's not super commercial or anything like that. This still has a sense of being more intimate, I think, than a ginormous big public gallery. So I wanted to kind of convey that through having some cool and different things in there. So we do include some really industrial lamps, which I quite like. We voted on the stream to have concrete floors. Personally, I love concrete floors. My sister hates them. She's like, they're so stupid. Like, your feet just get so sore. Not to mention it's so bad for kids and elderly people. And I'm like, yeah, but it can look so cool. So we decided on stream to have concrete and some carpet rugs, which I thought was like a cool idea. And I'd really love some Persian rugs in the game, actually. That would be really cool. I would really enjoy that, actually. So yeah, this build doesn't have any custom content except the new showers I got recently. I found buildable showers, and the reason why I like them so much is they're actually just deconstructed showers that exist in The Sims 4. A player like just deconstructed the showers so you can use just the small glass pieces. You don't have to have like the big block showers that kind of look kind of clunky in the game. So I really love that because they're Sims 4 native graphics. The graphics are by Maxis, but you can put it together like how you want. So I did upload it with that custom content. Obviously, if you download it and you do not have that custom content, you don't have to worry about your computer being at risk. The gallery does not download custom content with the file. So at least I'd be really surprised if it did. I don't think so. So you can download that into your game, and all you've got to do is put a shower where the other shower was. The whole build's ready to go and furnished, so that'll take you 2 seconds. So yeah, feel free to download it and enjoy it. Yay! Also, what else? I don't know. I think that's all in terms of the shower talk. If you're curious about it or what the download link, I did a video called "The Best Custom Content Ever?" ? And that was the custom content. I got very, very overexcited about showers because I love them. I love the fact that deconstructed showers. I just think that is so clever, so cool, so simple. I don't know. Sometimes I get carried away with things and you guys are like, Deli, can you please calm down? It's not that big a deal. And I'm like, hell yeah, it's a big deal. And it makes me happy. So I guess we all put up with each other's quirks. Hey. Anyway, so now we're just trying to find some nice artwork to put on the walls. Now, if you're not that savvy with playing The Sims, or you haven't watched or really gone in depth into how to play The Sims, you can actually find hidden objects in your build and buy mode that you wouldn't usually be able to buy unless you attained it through gameplay. So for instance, these pictures, you come across in game. I think if you use the telescope, you unlock these pictures bit by bit. But if you use the cheat, the hidden objects cheat, bb.show hidden objects, with testing cheats enabled on, you can find these in the decor section. So I decided to use some of those beautiful space pictures. I just think they're really, really cool. And I kind of imagined that this guy is both an artist and an art collector. So as I played my game, I would put up some pictures that he has done, like some originals, but he'd also sell other people's artworks as well. And then in the backyard, we're going to have a cool little area where you can sell your own artwork on the portable artwork walls. So I thought that was kind of nice that maybe he invites local school kids to sell their work in his art gallery or something like that. And they can have a little outdoor, time or space to showcase their artwork for the first time. So I just kind of thought that was nice. And there's also greenery walls inside this build. I have no idea how you would do that, but I'm obsessed when there are walls covered in greenery indoors. I feel like that would be incredibly difficult to maintain, but I think it is such a beautiful idea. I think it's stunning. So again, getting carried away with talking about greenery on interiors, but I just thought that was like a nice inclusion in this build. And of course, because everything is so industrial, there's a lot of harshness about it with the harsh red bricks, the metal windows and doors. It's nice to have that fresh greenery to juxtapose beside it. I just think it looks nice. And I also wanted to do like a funny little art installation. You know when you go to galleries and sometimes there are quote unquote art installations that are just like the most random objects in a room. And, some people are quite into it and enjoy like finding the meaning from it and looking at all the objects. I personally do enjoy art installations like that. But a lot of the time I'm also kind of like, is this art or is this not? And I guess maybe half the time that's what the artist wants you to think. But it's a little questionable at times. So I decided to include a little space like that downstairs. Now I did add an extra level to this build, a third level, because I wanted there to be a really cool like work area upstairs. So up here is the Grey Foxes. I'm going to call him a Grey Fox, Sugar Daddy's. Sugar Daddy, no. Grey Fox's office area. And he has his computer, his desk, he's got some art easels to paint on. You could definitely turn this space into whatever your sim needs. And also, just for you guys who may be confused, if you wanted to use this as half residential, half gallery, or half retail, first of all, you would need the Sims 4 Dine Out for the retail aspect. Oh my gosh, I'm still getting all of my packs muddled up. It's Dine Out that has restaurants and retail, right? And then Get to Work, you were able to work from home. City Living has the portable art easel. Everything's beginning to blend into one. You'd think I play Sims so much I would know the difference between everything, but it kind of all becomes one big thing. Anyway, you need Dine Out, I believe, to access retail. So you would need that, and all you do is you move your sim into a blank lot, then get them to purchase another lot as the retail, and you put this as that lot, and then you just live in the upstairs area. So you open and close the shop, but just stay or live upstairs. So that's kind of how you get around it. And yeah, I think that's kind of cool. And now we have the kitchen. This kitchen was meant to be very like metal. This is the kind of kitchen I would never have. I really don't like it for me, but I think it's kind of cool. It's certainly very, very industrial looking, so it suits the build perfectly that way. And I thought it was kind of cool to include some of these big factory windows on the interior because this place is being renovated. I think that they would have kept a lot of the old big windows and used them on the inside as well, perhaps, or maybe they had to extend walls outwards. It would be such a waste to get rid of those big, beautiful windows. So we've kept those, and also the exterior City Living kind of wooden panels, those will come through the walls a little bit. That's just kind of how they are. So that's going to be in the kitchen as well, which kind of adds an interesting effect. I don't know. I do so many builds. I appreciate when something's a little bit different. And yeah, I was going to do double sinks, but in the end I was like, no, we need fancy coffee area for fancy art man, artsy farty guy. And I feel like he'd be super picky about his coffee. And then he also has like a separate sink area. Actually, no, sink area is across from the stove area. It's not exactly separate. Double fridges. Often people are so confused why I use two fridges, but you know how some people have really big families, they like need two fridges? This guy is just really, really rich and he's like, well, I may as well have two. That's pretty much what he thinks. And yeah, now we're just putting in chopping boards and all of that good stuff, you know, the usual. Then we're going to need to begin the very, very, very open plan living space. So this is a massive studio apartment. It's huge, but I liked the fact that for once I wasn't dividing it all up into little rooms or making the layout make sense. Everyone lives so differently. Some people live in very traditional homes. Other people live in tiny, modern, living minimal homes. Other people live in beach homes, you know, apartments. And I don't know, probably someone watching this lives in a dungeon. Probably like underground. I have no idea, but everyone lives differently. So it would be a real shame not to experiment with a few different things. So I thought this was kind of cool. And there we go. We have a piano. We have a really cool hanging light. I love that light. I think that's a real cool piece in the game. We have the piano there, a nice mirror on the wall just next to the door so you can check yourself before you go out. Over here, we have the marble tiled TV area, which is weird. And then this is going to be the bathroom where for the first time ever, I actually use the customer or buildable shower in my build. And I was like, oh my God, this is the best. I don't know why it makes me so happy, but it really does. It really does, you guys. And yeah, I love the bricks in there because the bricks look cool. I know, I'm into that. It's very minimal. Like it's a lot of white and brick and, you know, space. And then that little corner there is actually going to be the bar area, so our bachelor can get himself a drink, and when he's schmoozing his business partners, or maybe he'll bring a woman home, or maybe another gentleman home, he can kind of schmooze them over a drink from the bar. He's very smooth, I feel like. And I feel like he's smooth in personality, and he'd have really good moisturizer. He'd have really expensive face moisturizer. Probably. I really think a lot about the characters in The Sims. I don't know if that's normal. Does anyone else do that where they like have a complete backstory in their head? Pretty fun. Also, I love these curtain dividers from City Living. They don't go all the way down to the floor, which sometimes I like, sometimes I dislike. But we're actually going to put bookshelves around the bedroom, so it does hide the bedroom away. It's pretty weird. Like, I don't know if I would live here. I'd feel like it was way too open, but this guy likes it that way. And he has a fireplace in his room as well, which would be really, really lovely. The bedroom is near the window with the plants on it because I thought that was nice and private. And I wanted it to look out onto the ocean because why wouldn't you want that beautiful view in places that you spend a lot of time in? There's also one old picture on the wall. I feel like that would be his like most favorite painting that would have cost heaps, and for some reason he really likes it. And he only has a single bedside table, which is kind of a nod to the fact that it's only him who resides here. He has commitment issues. Like, I feel like having two bedside tables is maybe inviting. Having one, it's like, it's just me. Speaking of which, I only have one bedside table, so yeah. I should get another one for my boyfriend. Also, here are the brown leather couches that usually you have to get through. Oh, how do you get the brown leather couches? Armchairs. Are they attained through the business career, or am I making that up? I'm not sure. Here's our little bar in the corner, and we're also going to use the globe bar that came with one of the fancy stuff packs. goatees and whiskers. I need to revise my stuff pack, game packs, and expansions. The really fancy one with the really cool dresses that came with the butler. That's the pack that's from. Yeah, my favorite stuff pack too, actually. And then here's the TV area. So it's a bit weird. It's tiled. It's like a tiled and white area of the house. I feel like this was a very artsy, fartsy decision of his. He was like, I want an all white, crisp lounge area and TV area. And it does have two beautiful windows that look out onto the ocean. So I thought that was really nice. And yeah, then we're going to have just a fruit bowl on there and some nice greenery on the coffee table. So we get the greenery in a second. I thought that was kind of a nice oriental looking screen there. Looks Japanese to me. And then, yeah, I feel like he would have collected a few things from around the world. And then I thought, let's just do one more green wall. It's a little bit extra, but I like it. So I did that. And yeah, there's not a whole heap of furniture at all. He lives this minimal lifestyle, and I'm not used to furnishing with limited furniture. Although I think we've been doing a little bit more bit by bit on the channel, getting into it. And those blinds I thought would be like electric blinds that would come down. Anyway, this is the Daddy/Silver Fox gallery and ginormous studio apartment. I feel like it's a big studio apartment. And here it is from a few different angles. There is a nice little balcony tucked away on the side there, so you can go out for some fresh air. And then you use those stairs to get up to the upstairs level, and there is a private locked gate downstairs, so people can't like climb in or get over it. So yeah, here it is. And then if we head on in, we have the door opening there. We have customers looking at the paintings to buy, and there's our Silver Fox daddy just there. Let me know if you recognize him from creating him. You probably couldn't see it. And yeah, here's a little reception. I mean, it's all very clean cut, very gallery-like, but it has like cool lights and some different colored walls, you know. This one's like a ginormous wine glass. You guys can decide what that means. And here's our weird little installation space I was telling you guys about. And that guy is stepping on our feathers, which is rude. He shouldn't pass the boundary. There's also a little bathroom there, just a men's toilet and a women's single toilet too. And then out here is just like a cool space with speakers and some walls where you can put up your work. So I thought that was kind of nice. Maybe it could be a nice spot to hold a party or something like that. And then this is his upstairs area. So it's kind of fancy. Like it's kind of over the top, but at the same time, he does have, you know, nice warm brown leather couches and screens, and there's no proper rooms. So it's kind of like a weird, open, artsy apartment, but it's also kind of high end too. Just got a bit of character. And there's my beloved shower screen. I love it. And lots of paintings just lined down the corridor because he loves painting. That's his passion. That's his life. So yeah, you guys, let me know what you thought of this build. Is it something that you would like to download? What kind of storyline would you think about a sim living here? And it is on the gallery under the username Deligracy if you would like to download it. And yeah, I hope you guys really enjoyed this build and enjoyed having a chit chat. And yeah, also next week, I'll be doing some live streams. One will be a charity stream for the Sony Foundation, which is a great cause. So if you guys want to check that out, click in the description down below to check out my Twitch channel because that is a lot of fun. And we do start off the builds like this for my channel. And we do, oh, I've got the hiccups, other builds as well. And there's a bird's eye view for you guys. Anyway, I love you guys so much. I hope you're having a lovely morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are in the world. I'll speak to you soon.